In this video, I'll be talking about a few random topics. What if Kaido had joined the Summit War? Why is it so difficult for Sanji or Gaban to have Conqueror's Haki? And who is the most underrated character in One Piece? Anyway, support the video with a like and subscribe to the channel. First topic, what if Kaido had joined the Marineford War? Let's say he didn't meet Shanks and wasn't stopped. Kaido's main goal was to kill Whitebeard himself. But if Kaido arrived and saw Whitebeard already weakened and in a losing position, I don't think he'd go through with it. Kaido's nature is to prove he's the strongest through a fair one-on-one fight. That's why the saying came up, in a one-on-one, always bet on Kaido. He earned this reputation by defeating everyone who challenged him in single combat. For example, even Crocodile, who wanted to kill Whitebeard, changed his mind when he saw him in that condition and ended up fighting beside him. Kaido would likely do the same. He wouldn't attack Whitebeard, but maybe someone else. So, how would things play out? According to the Vivre card, Kaido didn't plan to go to the Summit War alone. King was with him. It's likely that King convinced him to listen to what Shanks had to say and return to Wano. But if Shanks wasn't in the picture, Kaido and King would have made it to Marineford. Without a doubt, Kaido would have been the strongest character in the war. And King is not someone the vice admirals could handle. He'd need to be stopped by someone like an admiral or a top-tier warlord like Mihawk. I'll be honest, yes, Kaido is my favorite character after Zoro, but in the actual Summit War, many powerful characters didn't even move. Akainu was the only admiral who gave it his all. Akiji and Kizaru played small roles. Sengoku didn't fight. Garp didn't fight. Mihawk didn't fight, and don't say those sword swings count. That was just for fun. Kaido's presence would force these characters into action, even if they didn't want to. None of them can stop Kaido one-on-one. He could have destroyed Marineford completely, turned into a dragon and burned everything down. It would take both Garp and Sengoku fighting together to stop him. If Kaido seriously wanted to kill Akainu, for example, he could do it. Blackbeard would still show up, cause even more destruction, but Shanks would stop him again, just like the first time. And when Kaido sees that Whitebeard has died, he'd simply return to Wano. There'd be no reason to stay in a pointless fight because Kaido, as his character card says, is a king of wisdom. One major change with Kaido's presence. Ace might have survived. Akainu wouldn't have had the time or control over the situation like he did. The chaos Kaido would bring could disrupt everything. Next topic, Conqueror's Haki, also known as Haoshoku Haki or Angelic Haki. One reason I don't believe Sanji or Gaban have Conqueror's Haki is that it's extremely rare in the One Piece world. In most crews, only one person has it, two at most. For example, Big Mom has it, and so does Katakuri. Kaido has it, but no one else on his crew does. Shanks has it, and he's the only confirmed user on his crew. Roger had it, and so did Rayleigh. Whitebeard had it, and so did Ace, and possibly Odin, depending on your interpretation. The only crew with more than two confirmed users is the Rocks Pirates, but they were a special case. That crew was made up of nothing but leaders. That's why they couldn't stay united. In chapter 964, Whitebeard told Odin, "You're not the type to follow orders." He knew what would happen if a leader like Odin joined his crew. That would threaten the whole team's balance. Too many kings in one crew is a weakness, not a strength. When Roger's crew met Whitebeard's crew, Odin didn't wait for permission, he immediately attacked Roger. Even after Roger knocked him out with Kamosari, Odin wanted to fight again. That's the mindset of a king. Whitebeard had to step in personally to stop him. We see this trait in Zoro too. He acts like a leader, gives orders, challenges Luffy, and often leads in battle. Even in the Sabaody archipelago, the other supernovas recognized Zoro's unusual presence. His relationship with Luffy is rare, two kings working together. Now compare that to Sanji or Gaban. In chapter 1139, Gaban is barely known, the crew didn't even recognize his name. If he truly had the qualities of a king, people would have known him like they know Rayleigh. Rayleigh, on the other hand, is legendary. In chapter 506, Usopp says, "I know that name." Nami says, he's mentioned in all the books, and Sanji says, everyone has heard that name at least once. Rayleigh is remembered because he's a king in his own right even as a subordinate. So in my opinion, based on this pattern and not on hype or emotion, I don't think Sanji or Gaban has Conqueror's Haki. Of course, I could be wrong. It's just my interpretation. Final topic, the most underrated character in One Piece. While adjusting the mic, I thought of a character who, to me, represents true injustice, Smoker. 2 years ago, Smoker felt untouchable. He had a strong design, a great voice actor, and clear justice. Everything about him felt important. But after the time skip, the author turned him into a meme. Every fight he's had since has ended in defeat. Smoker didn't grow strong enough, maybe because he spent years stuck at Log Town, where no strong pirates came through. He didn't face real threats, so his Haki never bloomed. And in the new world, basic Haki isn't enough. But in One Piece, whenever someone faces death or tough battles, their Haki evolves. I hope Smoker gets that moment and returns as someone worthy of his original hype. That's all for today. So consider this video a casual discussion. If you made it to the end and enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you in the next video.